Right, welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It's 2,000 points. The Necrons are here. They'll be fighting across this Imperial line. A break in the defensive wall of the city, industrial heartland across here. There are 1,000 Suns Chaos Space Marines in the area. These two armies will clash across this battlefield. Right, welcome to 2,000 points. Battle report here. It is Necrons versus 1,000 Suns. So I'm going to run my 1,000 Suns list here. It's Battle Forged, a Battalion Detachment, and a Supreme Command Detachment as well. So the Supreme Command is 1, 2, 3 Exalted Sorcerers, each with Warp Flame Pistols and the Force Stave for those. I cover Psychic Powers a bit later on. One of them's riding Disc of Tzeentch. Then for the battalion, there's 2 HQs. There's Ahriman on his Disc of Tzeentch. There is Demon Prince with Malefic Talons and Wings. I've made him the Warlord, so I've given +1 to his Invuln save, so 3+ Invuln save available for him. And he's got Helm of the Third Eye Relic, so whenever the opponent uses a stratagem out of 5+, gain a command point. That's obviously limited now with the new FAQ. Then for troops, I have 4. There's 1, 2, 3 units of Zangors. All of those are armed with Zangor blades. Then 10 at Rubik Marines. There's an Aspiring Sorcerer there with Warp Flame Pistol and Force Stave. There's 2 Warp Flamers in the squad, and also a Soul Reaper Cannon. Then for elites, 2 units of Scarab Occult Terminators. Each of those has an Aspiring Sorcerer with a Stave. Inferno Combi Bolters, Power Swords, Hellfire Missile Rack in each of those squads, and also a Soul Reaper Cannon. Then finally 2 heavy support. It's 2 Mauler Fiends with Lasher Tendrils and Mauler Fiend Fists. That's the army. Psychic Powers then. I've laid them out here just to keep track of who's got what. So Ahriman has taken Tzeentch's Firestorm, Infernal Gaze and Gift of Chaos. Doombolt I've given to all the Aspiring Sorcerers. 1, 2 and 3. Then the Demon Prince has taken Gaze of Fate and Weaver of Fates. Then the Exalted Sorcerer on the disc, who we've called Disco Inferno, just as a nickname for him. Warp Time and Diabolic Strength. And then the one with the feathery arm, which we've called Chicken Wing, has got Temporal Manipulation and Prescience. And then the one with the beak here is Death Hex and Glamour of Tzeentch. That's just to keep track of who's got what. That's the Psychic Powers, and that's the list here for the 1,000 Suns. They're up against the Necrons. Rob Batchelor has returned, usually plays Orcs, but he has a Necron army. He's brought it along to play in this Challenger Scorpion game. We'll take a look and see what he has in his list. Right, so Rob Batchelor's returned, famous for his Orc army here that's appeared on the channel before, but in this game he's going to use his Necrons, so we're going to let him run through his list.
Okay guys, this is my 2,000 point Necron list. It's a single battalion detachment. In charge is my Overlord. He's the Warlord. He's got a War Scythe, and he's also got the relic, the Nightmare Shroud, I think it's called. It's the one that lets him redeploy a unit. Yeah. The other HQ choice is a Cryptek. He has a Chronometron, which is the gives anything within 9 inches of 5 up invulnerable save against shooting. I've got 3 troops. I've got a unit of Immortals with Tesla carbines, and I've got 2 units of 15 warriors. For elites, I've got a unit of 5 Lich Guard with Hyperphase swords and dispersion shields. I've got a unit of Death Marks, 5 of them, and then I have 2 Catan Shards. I've got the Shard of the Nightbringer and also the Shard of the Deceiver as well. I've got 2 fast attacks. I've got a unit of 4 Wraiths, and then I've got a unit of 5 Destroyers, and in heavy support I have a Doomsday Arc. So for Powers of the Catan, the Deceiver is going to have Antimatter Meteor, which is the one that on a 2+, a unit within 24 takes D3 mortal wounds, and then he's also going to have Time's Arrow as well, which is the one that's got an 18-inch range and causes mortal wounds as well. The Nightbringer is going to have Sky Falling Stars, which targets 3 units within 18 inches, and he's also going to have Cosmic Fire as well, which is the 9-inch one, which targets everything within 9 inches.
Alright, so that's Rob's list. Number of debuts here as well, which is exciting. We've not seen these in action before. The Catan Shards, so it'll be fascinating to see how well they get on. And the Doomsday Ark, I don't think we've had that on the channel before either, so it'll be fascinating to see what kind of firepower that can deliver as well. That's Rob's list. We'll go on to scenario and deployment next. Right, so the scenario is called Tactical Gambit. It's from Chapter Approved 2017. It's Dawn of War deployment. Necrons will be at the other side. 1000 Suns are here, 12 inches in. The Necrons across on this side of the table here. So Rob has this view across the board. Objectives then, they're numbered here between 1 and 6. Objective number 6 is just on the left-hand side, just about 6-7 inches away from Rob's deployment zone. Then in the middle here is objective number 4. Objective number 3 on this right hand side. Then objective number 1 is just outside the 1000 Suns deployment zone. Then inside the 1000 Suns deployment zone is objective number 2 in the middle of the zone here next to the wall. Then objective number 5 is on top of the walkway just here. Players draw up to 4 tactical objectives each turn. If at the start of the turn they're below that number, they can draw up to top it back up to 4 again. So we'll constantly be having 4 tactical objectives each turn. So the way Tactical Gambit works is we declare before the cards are drawn. Each player will declare on their turn how many of their objectives they think they can achieve. So 1, 2, 3 or 4. You can't declare 0. If those objectives are fulfilled, say you declare 2 tactical objectives and you achieve 2, then you get that number of bonus victory points. If it's a failure and you fail to get that number, then the opponent gets those victory points. So there's a big risk in declaring a high number like 3 or 4. Safer to declare 1 or 2, but that's the Tactical Gambit here in this battle. So usual rules as well for Slay the Warlord, First Blood and Linebreaker, all available in this game as well. We'll start alternating placing units on the table. Alright, so the battle mat that we're using in this game, it's by GameMat.eu. So it's this brown sort of urban one here. We can mix in all sorts of terrain with this one here. It's 6x4 in size, rolls out nice and flat. It's this nice mouse mat material, and then you simply roll it out on the flat surface, and then we put the terrain on top, and then we sprinkle stones around it as well. So figure friendly, nice and quiet on dice. Also, it's a great surface, just instantly gives you the colour that you need, and then you can place your terrain on top. We're also using terrain here that's available from GameMat.eu. It's a whole mixture of terrain, but these walls here, this is the wall set that I've double stacked up to make it nice and high. That's available from GameMat.eu, and then I've also been using some of the piping that's available. This set here, it's a big set they do, but I've used some of it here in this map also. But check out GameMat.eu, they produce all sorts of battle mats and terrain available from them. Okay, so deployment done here for both sides. We've taken our time, both armies trying to think of the best way to engage each other here on this battlefield. We've deployed the 1000 Suns in the centre mostly, units of Zangors 1, 2 and the other one just over the other side of the wall. Ahriman's joined them on the right hand side, so too has this Exalted Sorcerer with the beak. Then here, Disco Inferno just on the left hand side. There's a Mauler Fiend just here. He is out of line of sight of Rob's Doomsday Ark over there. Then the Demon Prince on his own just here, and then on the extreme left hand side is the Mauler Fiend. Just to cover reserves for the 1000 Suns, we have paid a command point and put the Rubic Marines into the webway, and the 2 units of Terminators can teleport strike onto the board. So around the other side, Necron Immortals here just in the ruin. The Overlord and his bodyguard just here. In front of them is the unit of Wraiths. So that's a section here, Rob's army, and then on this side the 2 Catan Shards just behind a unit of Necron Warriors. The Cryptek is with them. The Doomsday Ark. Then another unit of Necron Warriors on the extreme left hand side. And then the Destroyers have taken up position mostly inside this ruin. And then here the Death Marks have gone into reserve. They can turn up. Rules we're going to play for reserves, you can turn up turn 1 in your own deployment zone, or turn 2, turn 3 anywhere else on the board. So deployment is done. Rob finished deploying first, so he will get +1 to his siege initiative. And so without further ado, we'll go for this here. Rob rolls straight away. Rolls a 1. Come on, this is your old golden opportunity. I've scrolled a 1. I had a chance. That was a great opportunity there. I'm going to try and seize initiative on a 6. No, we do not. So the Necrons will go first here in this battle. What an amazing opportunity there. We could have gone first, but we have failed. So the Necrons will strike first. We're not sure how this game is going to go. We know it's going to be I reckon it's going to be a fascinating one for sure. But we'll see who prevails in this fight. Turn 1 coming up next for the Necrons. Alright, so on turn 1 here, Rob actually has a redeploy to make. It's called, what's it called?
Grand Illusion.
It's one of the Catan powers. He's rolled a D3 here, he's scored 2, and then plus the model itself. So which one is it? It's the
Deceiver.
That Deceiver there, and then he can pick up to 2 other units and he can redeploy them here before he makes his move. So a very, very useful tactical ability here. So we'll let Rob pick his, yeah, he's going to relocate the destroyers. I knew he'd relocate that unit. Alright, so let him make his relocation here. This is fascinating stuff. Yeah, interesting here. Rob has shifted the Wraiths across as a bubble wrap screen. The destroyers just behind them. He's positioned them in a way where the closest model is the Demon Prince here. So I thought I was safe. But no, been caught out here by the destroyers, and the Catan Shard has shifted with them as well. It's like a scout redeploy here, so you can deploy anywhere on the board as long as you are 12 inches away from enemy models. And are you allowed in my deployment zone? I'm not sure. Not sure about that one. Okay, but where he is fine, so no problem at all. We'll let Rob make his moves now. So these can't move now. That's their.
They can move.
Oh, it's a scout move.
They can move. They can't charge.
Right. Okay. So there's movement available from them. It's like a scout redeploy, similar to the Space Marines. And then here he's got the rest of the army to move as well. So shape of the game has changed already here with this major redeployment here from Rob's force. So not the usual predictability of Necrons here. There's a lot of tricks up Rob's sleeves. So we'll go on to movement now, see where he decides to move. Alright, so Rob's moving here. He's drawn Endless Legions. So you keep a tally of your reanimations, and once you reach 10, you get a victory point. Age of the Machine, that's destroy an enemy vehicle, so that's Maul of Fiends. Big Game Hunter, something with 10 wounds or more. So again, Mauler Fiend, and then Slaughter the Living. Get 1 victory point if at least one enemy unit was completely destroyed this turn. Again, Mauler Fiend could be what he goes for. But Rob making some moves here. Aggressive play on this flank. Now, I thought this was an empty flank, but it's turned out to be overloaded with the elite section of Rob's army. So, a fair bit of movement to do. Necrons spread all the way across the board here in this game. You need to be. The objectives are distributed pretty evenly across the board. Alright, so movement complete here for the Necrons. Wraiths have moved ahead. This is the screen that Rob's using. They've gone on to objective number 1. The Catan Shard has moved and has used his Catan power anti-meta meteor. 2 mortal wounds scores. It's D3 mortal wounds on a 2+. Holding position here, these are well placed already. Then around here, the Lich Guard have moved with the Overlord. Then just swinging around behind them is the Immortals. The Necron line has moved here ahead with the Cryptek and the Catan Shard just behind. Nightbringer, he's called that one. Yeah, okay. And then the Doomsday Ark has remained exactly where it is, and so too has... no, this squad's moved up a little bit. Yeah, okay. So movement's done. The death marks haven't appeared. They'll turn up turn 2, turn 3. So movement's complete. There's no psychic phase here for the Necrons, so we'll go on to their firepower shooting phase for them next. Okay, so we're going to kick off the shooting phase with a predictable bit of firepower here. These destroyers are going to fire through the Demon Prince. Extermination protocols, of course, so rerolls to hit and rerolls to wound here against the Demon Prince. He does have 3+ invuln save, but will it be enough to stop all the potential damage from coming through? There's going to be 15 shots levelled at him here, and Rob will be on 3s to hit. Right, he's rolling up here. He's pressing ahead. His firepower would be a good result to slay the Warlord here at this early stage. So plenty of hits coming through, 2 have missed. And then it'll be 4s to wound, and these are re-rollable. With that brilliant stratagem. There's a load of failed, but thankfully he'll get the re-roll here. And a load of passed. Alright, so it is going to be a lot of damage potentially coming through. Okay, so there's 9 to save. We have to roll well, or we will lose the Demon Prince. Just my first roll of the game is pretty good, actually. So there's 1 failed. I'm going to command reroll this one. 3+, just to keep this damage away. No, have failed. Rob's just rolled a 3 hits. That's 2 damage will come through, and a command point's been used up. So I've got 7 left now here, keeping a track of them for the 1000 Suns. But that we've got away very lightly here, thanks to the 3+ invuln save that we have on this Demon Prince. He will survive. Plus is right. Yeah, Rob's able to recuperate command points used up on a 5+. Is each time you use a stratagem?
For every command point spent.
For every command point spent. Alright, so 5+ is Rob will get command points back, which is very, very useful indeed. We're just putting a cap. We are playing the rules here with a cap on command points, so you're not be able to harvest as many as usual. Same here for the 1000 Suns, will be limited. So once you achieve your command point being used or recuperating back, you can only get 1 per turn. I'm going to roll 5+ here for Helm of the Third Eye, actually, because you used a stratagem, and we get 1 back. So that's us done for the battle round, I think it is. Yeah, so we can just get 1 back per battle round. So go back up to 8. So that's the initial shooting. There's still some more firepower. Rob has these Necron warriors to fire as well, resolve the rest of Rob's shooting. Okay, so shooting phase complete. We lost 3 Zangors. That was firepower coming from the Necron warriors here. The Doomsday Ark. Now, the Doomsday Ark needs to remain stationary to get its best firepower. We were checking the angles here. I couldn't see this smaller fiend, and it couldn't see the other one. So we've positioned them anticipating going second, and it's paid off here. Both Mauler Fiends couldn't be targeted. They may well have found themselves in big trouble if that big gun had been able to hit them. So Rob, in the end, had to fire at Zangors, bringing 2 of those down and 1 brought down by the Necron Warriors. So we've got morale tests to do here. We may well lose a couple of models. But other than that, the shooting phase is finished. There's no assaults. These units are not allowed to charge. So we're going to end the turn here on turn 1. And we've taken 2 wounds on the Mauler Fiend, and we've lost 3 Zangors. So the Thousand Suns, dreading going second, have actually come off very lightly indeed. We didn't see that result coming, and the Warlord here, his invuln save has kept him alive. That's the end of the turn. We'll now go on to the first turn of the Thousand Suns. They're going to try and respond now to the Necron threat. There is a gun line over here, and then this redeploy has created a fresh threat here on this left-hand side. We'll go on to Thousand Suns turn 1 as they prepare to respond to the Necron menace. So we're on turn 1 here for the Thousand Suns, just thinking about where to move. We do get a victory point. Rob declared he would achieve 1. That was the tactical Gambit and failed, so we'll pick up a victory point for that, for the Thousand Suns. So we'll need to declare how many cards, how many objectives we think we can fulfill. We'll have to declare that before we draw from the deck. So we'll declare 1. Let's just play it safe. We'll go for... No, I'm going to declare 2. I'll declare 2 because I think we could cause a little bit of trouble over here. So we'll go for 2 is the declaration here. That is the tactical Gambit here on this turn. Alright, so movement here with the Thousand Suns. A lot of movement taking place here as they react to the aggression from the Necrons. We've backed off here with the Zangors, trying to keep out of range 24. We don't stand much of a chance of going against that wall of firepower, so we've pulled back to here. Chicken Wings pulled back with them as well. An advanced move made by Beaker has got himself on top of the wall. We're trying to get across to get Death Hex on there, removing an invuln save, but we are about an inch short of 18 inches, so I don't think we're going to do that, or we can't do it this turn. I have brought in the Thousand Suns Rubik Marines, but keeping them here at the wall, hidden away from the Doomsday Arc. Mauler Fiends moved around 10 inches. Ahriman's jumped across 17 with an advanced move. Disco Inferno's moved across. Zangors have advanced, they're not be able to charge, but they're on objective number 1. The Dim Prince has moved through. Auto-restored a wound here with the Mauler Fiend moving 10 inches. That's movement done. We're going for the assault here, going to try and take on these elite units that the Necrons have. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next here. We'll just cover actually cards first of all. So we've got Area Denial, that's the centre of the table. Here, trying to keep units away, 6 inches and 12 inches. There's points that can be picked up for that. I think we can at least get a victory point there. No prisoners for destroying unit. I think we can do that, so we should be able to pick up our 2 victory points this turn. Then secure objective number 3, which is there. So not much chance of that at this stage. And defend objective number 6, which is that one. Again, not much chance of that. Perhaps for the entire game. We'll see. We're a long way away from that objective. And it looks well defended by the Necron Warriors. We are playing it that you can pay 2 command points to immediately remove one of your cards and generate a new one, or you can wait till the end of the turn and for no cost you can dump one of the cards if you wish. Okay, so Psychic Phase next. The Thousand Suns on turn 1. Alright, so Psychic Phase complete here. Low level smite coming from here, multiple smites coming from these characters as well. Have reduced the Wraiths down just to 1 Wraith left. Then Gaze of Fate went off here, that grants the reroll, which I've used up, help one of the powers to go off. We played Carbalistic Focus and used a command point up here to make sure, or to try and make sure, that Warp Time went off, which it did. So the Mauler Fiend has got another 10, swinging round to try and go after the destroyers here. Psychic powers couldn't manifest any from him out of range, all the powers that we had available, and that is about it. Yeah, no, there's also powers from Ahriman, Zinch's Firestorm and Infernal Gaze. We used that on the Catan Shard and reduced him down to 3 wounds left, trying to take off as many wounds as possible. Psychic Phase pretty good. We've removed, virtually removed the Wraiths here. We've managed to swing them all the Fiend round, so it's going quite well, this plan of attack that we have. We'll go on to Shooting Phase next. A bit of firepower available. These Rubik Marines can let off some shots. Okay, yeah, firepower done. Just these Rubik Marines firing through. We put a wound on the Wraith, the last one, but failed to bring it down. That Shooting Phase done. Not much of an emphasis here for this Thousand Suns army for shooting. It's more the psychic phase and potentially cause some trouble here in close combat. We'll resolve some charges and some Overwatch next. Alright, so charges have taken place here. Both Maul of Fiends have made it into contact. This one's gone into the Catan Shard. This one's contacted the Destroyers. Then Disco Inferno has joined the Demon Prince here to try and bring down the last Wraith. May need a bit of extra help there because it does have that 3+ invuln save. We'll go on to combat resolution next. Yep, so we're going to pick combat here, work through the charges, see what kind of damage we can do. Okay, so we're going to pick this one here. This is the crucial one because I'm aware that Rob could interrupt here. So 4 attacks. This is with the Maul of Fiend Fists. That's not very good at all. I'm just going to check something here. Yeah, it's just checking here. I can reroll this one because of the Demon Prince nearby and Disco Inferno granting that reroll. That helps. So we'll be on 2s to wound here. Strength 12. Toughness 7. No, 3s to wound. 2 wounds come through. It's -3, so Rob will use his 4+ invuln save here, which he passes. Yeah, this is what I was worried might happen. The Catan Shard remains alive. We'll do attacks now with Lash of Tendrils. 6 attacks. Rerolling 1s. God, glad the Demon Prince is nearby. That's a cop dice. I'll reroll that one. Yeah, now Rob's happy enough. We can play that as a 4. And then we will take those away as misses. 5s to wound though. Nothing. 0 impact here. The Thousand Sons may well regret that. They failed to bring down the Catan Shard. Next, Maul of Fiend. Demon Forge stratagem played to try and help us out. 4s to hit here with the fists, which will reroll. That's not bad. 2s to wound at strength. 2s to wound at strength 12. Yeah, I'm going to command reroll this one to try and get a. Oh no! So another command point used up. Rob gets 2 saves here of 6+. Does save 1. That is helpful. 3 damage. So 1 removed. Could have been 2. Next, Lash of Tendrils. These destroyers are going to escape here. We're looking for 4s. Yeah, they've all... no, those have hit. 3s to wound. Yeah, these wounds come through. These are -2 and 2 damage. So 4 saves of 5+. Good saves here. So, no, it's going to be whole models, isn't it? The wounds don't overflow. So it's just a whole model remove. It's 2 damage a time. So those 4 wounds will be absorbed just on one of the destroyers. Does have reanimation protocols. Needed the wipeout. And have failed here. We'll go on to the next charger. Surely we can destroy the Wraiths. Necrons surviving very well indeed here at this stage. So we'll play Disco first of all. Here against the Wraith. Reroll this one. 3s to wound. Strength 6. Yeah, so 3 wounds come through. It's -1, but it's going to be 3+ invuln save. And they've all passed. Uh-oh. Okay, so that's him done. He's on disc actually. That can attack, hits, and does wound. Normal save. Oh, the disc takes him out.
I'm going to use...
Come on, reroll. Okay.
3+. And then I'll get it back on a 5+.
No, I can't use Helm of the Herd Eye. I've already regained a command point this turn. So now we're down to the Demon Prince. He gets 7 attacks. Then 2s. And rerolling 1s. And he will be on 3s to wound here. So some have failed. So Rob needs to make 4 saves of 3+. So he's gone. Finally, what an effort it's taken though. But Wraiths can be removed, and that unit at least has been destroyed. But worrying here for the Thousand Sons, they have failed to remove the Catan Shard and the destroyers. That may well cause trouble for the Thousand Sons as we go into the second turn for the Necrons. Okay, so consolidation move done. Rob still has to fight back here, so the Deceiver is going to go for next. We'll see what kind of damage he can do. Take it, he's on 2s.
2s to hit.
Yeah, okay.
Strength 7.
4s for wounds. 2 wounds come through. Okay, so down to my 5+ invuln save to try and block these. Do block 1.
Flat 3 damage.
Straight 3 damage. Nice. Alright, so we drop down to 8 wounds. So he's not too bad in close combat at all. Pretty good. Well, more damage than I did against you, so Very good there from the Catan Shard. Then the Destroyers fighting here against the other Mauler Fiend. So they'll be on 3s, rerolling 1s for hard-wide hatred. Get a full house of hits here. Be on 5s to wound. That's incredible. Right. We're sharing the same dice here, we're getting on well. And blast, I wish I hadn't. 3 wounds taken. We dropped to 7 on this one, so that should make the task of bringing this one down a lot easier. 7 wounds remain on this Mauler Fiend. It's not gone very well here for the Thousand Suns. We thought we'd lined ourselves up for a good kill here, but the Catan Shard has been resilient enough, and damage has been absorbed well by the Destroyers. The Wraiths have been cleared away, but it's taken a lot of effort to get rid of them. And now the Necrons have a turn in hand. So cards have been traded in. I've got Area Denial. We didn't get the 12-inch range. The centre of the board is about here. Necron Warrior is just within 12, so that's been denied. But the area is clear within 6, so we get a point for that one. And then we haven't picked up our objectives, but we did destroy the Wraiths just about, so no prisoners has picked up another point. It's 2 points for that. We did declare 2, so we get a bonus 2 points as well. So 4 points scored, not too bad at all here for the Thousand Suns. I'm going to dump objective number 6, that can disappear. We'll draw back up to 4 next time around. Turn's finished. There's no morale to do. They'll automatically pass, no problem at all. So we'll go now onto the second turn for the Necrons. Okay, so we're on movement here for the Necrons on turn 2. Rob's just reanimated one of the Destroyers, all of that effort, and one of them reappears. Here, I know full well how frustrating it can be. I've done it to other players with my Necrons before, reanimating all over the place, but now it's being used against me here in this game. So it's great to take on Necrons. You're used to using them, now finally getting to play against someone that's using them for themselves. So Rob's declared 3. He reckons he can pick up 3 points. The cards that he has are pretty much annihilation cards, so he's just going to try and destroy one of the units, and that will virtually let him pick up 3 points, and the bonus 3 points on top should be enough to propel him ahead in this battle. Playing aggressive again, Lich Guard on the move here with the Overlord. Fire support in the form of the Immortals coming up behind as well. So still Necron's very strong on this flank, and then across here some distance away from the Thousand Suns, but look, they're anchoring potentially 2 of the objectives on the board. That may well pay dividends later on in the game. They're sitting on top of the green pipeline here. It could be the fuel that they've been using to power their weapons, and it looks like a ghost haunts this area as well, the Night Shroud painted up in the green as well. But we'll let Rob continue his movement. Still has the Destroyers to move here, but it's not, so far it's pretty evens at this stage. I thought the Thousand Suns could get well ahead, but the Necrons proving resilient here so far in this game. Right, movement phase complete here for the Necrons. Rob's dynasty means that he can move, advance, and still shoot his rapid fire weapons. They count as assaults, so we have -1 to hit, but some extra movement being made to try and get within range to fire. These are moved ahead as well. The Catan Shard and the Cryptek are with them. Again, remaining stationary with the Doomsday Arc. Then around here, the Catan Shard is elected to stay in close combat and has since resolved one of his powers, a mortal wound knocked off there on the Mauler Fiend. Then around here, we've got another formation taking place here. We have the Lich Guard protecting the Overlord, behind them the Immortals, and then relocating here and reanimating one of the Destroyers. So this is the bubble that needs to be burst here by the Thousand Suns if they can, and then the strong gun line advancing on this flank. So it's a war on two fronts at the moment. We'll go on to shooting phase next, see what the Necrons can do with their firepower. Alright, a chance, an exhibition here of firepower potentially. So the Doomsday Arc is going to fire into this Mauler Fiend. It's down to 7 wounds. I think by the sounds of its configuration it should be able to destroy it. Maybe it depends on what Rob rolls here for his number of shots. It was a 3, average enough. It's one of those ones, do you re-roll it and go for something better, or do you accept the 3 shots? He's going to keep them. Alright, so no minuses to hit here, 3+. He's got 2 hits. You're wounding on a
3, strength of 10.
Strength of 10, toughness 7. 1 wound comes through. He's going to command reroll. Okay, I would probably go. Yeah, okay, the 2 have come through. I'm yet to try and gain a command point back this turn. So roll Helm of the Third Eye. It does go off, so we will receive command point. That's us for the turn. So 2 wounds come through. I take it's a horrific minus.
-5.
-5. Glad we've got an invuln save. 2 5+. No. What's the damage?
D6.
D6. I think we're going to have to command reroll here at this stage. I've got to keep him alive. If I pass this, I'll not die, at least from this firepower. So 5+. Come on. 2d6 damage. I think he's done it. 7 needed. 7 achieved here. So I'll roll up to see if we detonate, but Mauler Fiend's gone. It's a bit of a blow here for the Necrons, or for the Thousand Suns here. But yeah, Mauler Fiend's destroyed. Good firepower here from the Doomsday Arc. So that has actually got Rob 6 victory points, would you believe? He's got 3 cards stacked up. He's declared 3, so we'll get an extra bonus 3 for that tactical Gambit. So taken the Gambit here, and it's paid off. And he's going to be rewarded handsomely for it here in this turn. Good play for the Necrons. There's more deadly firepower. The Destroyer is a great resource to have, and Rob's lining up some firepower with them, and the Immortals are available to shoot as well. Okay, here we go again. 4 Destroyers now. We'll go into the Demon Prince. He is 2 wounds down, and I'm not sure if we can pull out a great set of 3+s again, but we'll see. I've actually used my command reroll up this turn, trying to keep them all the Fiend alive. So we're in a dangerous spot here. 3s to hit. Rob requires. Demon Prince is the closest model, by the way. We've checked the ranges. Yeah, it's almost a full house of hits. That's an excellent start. He's back to his grey dice now. The serious Necron dice. 5s for wounds. Strength 6, tough. No, 4s for wounds, sorry. And then you can do your rerolls. Oh, this is good. Yeah, that is good. He only needs 3 of these to get through. 8 to try and save here on 3+s. It's a good roll again. I will not be... you can destroy us. On 2 5s and 6s, you'll kill him. 4 wounds. Ouch. 2 wounds left here on the Demon Prince. He's gravely wounded here after being picked on for a second time by the Necron Destroyers, proving a great nemesis to him at the moment. Alright, so it's going well here for the Necrons. Death marks into Araman next. They've turned up here. I'm not sure if I covered that in the movement phase, but they've appeared just here. Araman's been marked for death. And it's good shooting. What we don't want is something like 4 6s. That would be... Oh boy. Okay, one comes... Let's take this as a mortal wound here. And then some saves to make as well. Is there any minus on the...
No.
Okay. 3+s.
And you have to roll that one as well.
And that one. Okay, so yeah, there's a chance. No, we'll survive, but we're taking a lot of wounds here. We've passed with that one. So we've taken 3 wounds in total. Ahriman's gravely wounded here as well after this ambush from the death marks. Good shooting. Okay, shooting phase finished here from the Necrons. 8 of them, we reckon we're in angle to see through to Beaker here, the Exalted Sorcerer. He's taking a wound. That's firepower from the Necron Warriors. 2 of the Thousand Sons Rubik Marines brought down. That was firepower coming in from across here, from the Immortals. And then Ahriman, we saw he's taken 3 wounds there from the death marks. Alright, so that's shooting phase done. Pretty good here. We reckon the game is sort of quite evens at this stage. It's open for anyone to try and win. So we're going out onto assaults. I don't think you've got any charges, fresh ones. No. So it's just this ongoing melee here. So we'll let the Catan Shard fight here. He's got 7 wounds to try and bring down on the Mauler Fiend. He's dishing out 3 damage a time. Okay, so here it comes. 4 attacks. 1 wound, strength 7. Try and save it. If 5+ invuln save, we do hold. So now we'll try and strike back with the Mauler Fiend hit. So we'll do Mauler Fiend fists. If one of these gets through, it'll be enough to bring this thing down. We only get 1 hit. We don't get the wound. I wouldn't mind bringing him down. We'll command reroll this one. 3+. We do get it. We'll take a command point away. Rob can make a 4+ invuln save, which he fails. He's going to command reroll. Okay, which he passes. Alright, so stratagem's being used here to try and keep the command, to try and keep the units alive here. The Catan Shard remains alive. We've still got Lasher Tendrils. We'll need to do very well with them, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. So we might be able to do it here, but that was the chance with the fists. I could have played Demon Forge again, start the fight phase, but it's too late now. 2 wounds, no, sorry, 1 wound comes through because your toughness 7, which is fouled, and you have a wound remaining there. Oh, so the Catan Shard still defiantly remains alive. And on that note, the turn's finished. So at the end of turn, 2 here for the Necrons. Cards to trade in, we've already got an idea of what Rob can do. So he's going to trade in these 3, and he'll then pick up a bonus 3 points for declaring 3 and achieving 3. So well done. Very, very well played there. A nice big chunk of points coming through. Just to cover the cards, it was Age of the Machine, Big Game Hunter, yet the Mauler Fiend killed, and Slaughter the Living. So turn finished. Necron's picking up a good amount of points, but so too did the Thousand Sons on the previous turn. We'll go on to their second turn next. They need to bounce back here, pull themselves together, and launch themselves once again into this Necron force. I think we need to be relentless here against them, because the Necrons, their reputation for durability is being seen here in this game as well. The Thousand Sons need to strike hard in this second turn coming up next. Okay, so movement done here. Rob's saying, why don't you charge into the Warriors? But it'd be a doomed attempt, I think, the Zangors. But we're stuck here at this wall. It's really slowing us down. 2 of them have made it up to the top, but the rest are down here trying to move along. But we're still holding objective number 2 with these 2 squads. But that's all that's left on this side of the wall. Cards that we've picked up: Assassinate, kill a character. Secure objective, we've only declared our Gambit as 1. We could have declared higher here. Secure objective number 2, which is this one, so we will get that. Secure objective number 3 remains in play, which is being sat on there by that Necron bubble. And then advance, get out of the deployment zone. Can't do that at this stage, but that's one to save for a future turn. Chicken Wings moved up. He's on the road to escaping. We've shifted the Thousand Sons Rubik Marines along a bit further, just to create them as the closest units, just to try and protect these characters. Beaker's jumped down. We've strung them out along down here a little bit as well, just to fire off at the death marks. Then here the attack continues. Zangors have gone 6, preparing to charge. Ahriman's moved across. Disco Inferno's moved to here. The Mauler Fiends remained in combat to try and pick off the last wound. Then the Demon Prince moving across. Risky move from him. He's moving through, and he does have just a couple of wounds remaining, but help has arrived in the form of the Occult Terminators. They've arrived here to provide a crossfire here. The attempt now will be to burst the Necron bubble, just here, sitting on top of objective number 3. So we'll go on to Psychic Phase next, the 1000 Suns. We'll see what we can do, try and soften up the Necrons, especially this bubble here. See if we can cause trouble for these Necron units. Psychic Phase next. Okay, Psychic Phase complete here. We put a couple of mortal wounds on the death marks. That was the Aspiring Sorcerer and this one here. Then Temporal Manipulation from him restored the lost wound on Beaker. We tried to cast Death Hex and failed. That was quite crucial what we failed there against the Lich Guards. They still keep their invuln save. Then across here, Airman tried to use his power, Zinch's Firestorm and Infernal Gaze there to put wounds onto the Overlord. We scored 2, but not enough to bring him down. Smite went off though, multiple smites going off, and we've reduced 2 of the Lich Guard down. They've been removed from play. And then Smite from here destroyed the Catan. He detonated, causing a mortal wound. On the Mauler Fiend, we then played Warp Time and then moved the Mauler Fiend. We reckon he can charge because he didn't fall back in the movement phase. He's made a fresh move here and is available now to assault. Then across here, low-level smites coming through and causing mortal wounds here. One of them got an 11 and scored D3, and so we've removed a whole model there on the Necron Destroyers. So that's Psychic Phase done. Not too bad. Could have been a lot worse though. We'll go on to Shooting Phase next. The Terminators have arrived. They could cause trouble here for the Destroyers. Shooting Phase coming up next. Okay, so shooting's taken place here. Again, not too bad here from the 1000 Suns. Damage coming through. Terminators causing trouble, but not wiping out the Destroyers. But there's just one of them left on 1 wound. They have to be wiped out because of the danger of reanimation protocols. Here, 3 casualties taken on the Immortals. That was the Soul Reaper Cannon from the Rubik Marines just across the board there. And then Bolt of Fire coming through from the rest of them helped to bring down more death marks. There's only one of those left. That shooting phase is complete. We're going to charges now. I've got to organise this correctly here. 2, 3 or more units available to charge here. We'll see. We'll go on to charges. A little bit of Overwatch is available as well. We'll resolve this next. Okay, charges have gone ahead here. What a royal mess building up here as the Necrons desperately try to defend themselves here, just next to the ruin of this old cathedral. We've charged in multiple units. Zengor's made it in. We rolled an 11 charge with the Doom Prince here, so he swung around. Then the Mauler Fiend's charged in. Then we rolled an 11 here, so we've made it into combat there also against the Destroyer. So the invuln save still remains. The Necron Overlord's still alive. Yeah, I was going to say for Rob to do a heroic intervention, but doesn't need to because we're within an inch already. So we'll go on to combat resolutions here. The 1000 Suns should do well, but we know Necrons are a very resilient and tough army to deal with. We'll go on to, and Rob can interrupt here. I'm sure he's going to try and interrupt, so we've got to pick a combat very, very carefully indeed. We'll go on to combat resolution next here on turn 2 for the 1000 Suns. All right, combats then. I've got to pick one wisely. I think I'm going to go for the Demon Prince, and he's going to put his attacks into the Overlord here. It's Warlord versus Warlord here. Yes, yeah, both the Warlords are fighting here. So we've got 7 attacks, needing 2s. We'll reroll this one. They will hit. With strength 7, so we'll be on 3s to wound. They've all wounded here with this roll. So Rob has 7 saves to make up -2. He'll take his 4+ invuln to save to try and keep alive, but no, that's going to be 6 damage. It's 2 wounds a time. Right, Lich Guard, hold on. The Lich Guard are going to try and help here. They've done it. So Lich Guard will take the damage. Oh, look at them nobly sacrificing themselves to keep the Overlord alive. And then, so 4 on them, so that's 2 models, and a wound on another, which stays alive. I take it now you're going to want to interrupt play?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So now the Overlord will strike. I'm not sure if he's going to be slain. He may well be slain, but he's going to get to fight here for sure. All right, so Rob's will interrupt play. And he's going to use a stratagem, so that's all of the last of his command points used up. But it may well be oh so worth it here. So, Entropic Strike. against the Demon Prince, who's got 2 wounds left. So this could be a Slay the Warlord moment. He gets 1 attack here, but rolls a 1, and no command reroll available. Hold, stop. We'll see.
His command trait, his Warlord trait.
Ah, hold it right there. We're just checking the rules. There might be a way out of this here. Now you can. It's Sautek Dynasty here. We're just checking on the rules. You can reroll a single dice. If there's any point in the game you want to use it, it's now. Gets his hit. You don't want a 1 or a 2. You must get a 3+. The wound comes through, ignores my invuln save, and causes 2 damage. And so we're dead. Yeah, 3 up armor save -4, so ignores regular armor, and the invuln save's stripped away. So the Demon Prince is no more. What a brilliant strike there. Okay, so the Overlord's brought him down. The War Scythe goes up into the belly of the beast, writhing in pain. The Demon Prince comes crashing to the ground. What a way to go. Cinematic moments here in this battle. The Overlord slays the Demon Prince. So next combat, I go for the Terminators here because I want to try and make sure the Destroyer's removed. So 2 attacks with the Staff. No death to the False Emperor here in this game. 3's to wound at strength 6. Yes, 2 saves at -1 with the Staff here. 1 and 2. Alright, so he's gone. Mission accomplished. And we can make a consolidation move now with the Terminators. Yeah, so I'm going to go for 2 fists. Going to evenly spread this between these 2 units. 2 fists into him, 2 fists into the Immortals, and then 3 of each for the Lash of Tendrils into each as well. So that's the declaration. 2 fists into the Lich Guard. 1 hit. 2's for a wound. Wound comes through. This is -3, so 4+ invuln save. So I knew you pass. Okay. Then 2 fists into them. 2 hits. 2's to wound. Yep, 2 saves are 6+ for those, otherwise the Immortals are no more. So they're gone. Okay, and then we've wasted 3 of the Lash Tendrils, so the remaining 3 Lash Tendril attacks into the Lich Guard, which all miss. We didn't want to use a strategy. I'm trying to save command points here. We've got 3 left, so I didn't play Demon Forge this turn. So that's him. Not too effective from him, but we do have the Zangors next to fight with. We're going to put 3 of the regular Zangors into the Lich Guard there to try and bring him down, first of all, and the rest of the attacks will go into the Overlord. So 3's for hits. I'm too far away to get reroll 1s. None of my Exalted Sorcerers are nearby, so we'll take those 2 away. We're then on Strength 4, Toughness 5, so 5's for wounds. 1 wound does get through, it's -1, so Rob will go down to his 4-up save or 4-up invuln save here. Okay, and that's the last wound on that Lich Guard, so he's finally gone. Now the rest of the attacks here against the Overlord. See if the Zangors can bring him down. Okay, 15 attacks into the Overlord. He's got 2 wounds left. This is the moment here. Oh, this doesn't look very good. Got a load of misses. Got loads of misses. Getting a bit tense here at the moment. He's toughness 5, so 5's to wound. Zangors. Crazy chickens here running around. Going mad. He's down to 4 up. Oh, no, he's gone. Zangors victorious here. They finish off the Warlord. They will celebrate here in an animal fashion as they bring down the Overlord here for the Necrons. Both Warlords slain in spectacular style here, but the Necron bubble has burst and the Thousand Suns tide comes sweeping in. Alright, so turn finished. The shape of the game's definitely changed. The Necrons have been virtually wiped out from this sector, from this side of the wall. And then across the other side, the Necrons dominate this side of the wall here. Now Rob's army is here. This section's gone, so now it's all down to the units that he has available on this side. So we'll prepare to move on to the next turn now for the Necrons, their 3rd turn. So we'll see if we can trade in some cards now for the Thousand Suns. Okay, so cards. I wish I declared higher for my Gambit. I only declared 1, which I'll get that. But Assassinate, we killed 2 characters. That's enough just to score 1 victory point. Secure objective number 2. Yes, and we secured objective number 3 in the end. I wasn't expecting to get the complete wipeout here, but we did. Objective number 3 has been secured. So 3 points plus 1 picked up here for the Thousand Suns. They have bounced back here, and I think they're in the lead at the moment. But now we'll hand over to the Necrons. We'll see what they could do. Still, the Necron gun line is intact. It's taken no damage at all. And Rob in position here, you can see 1, 2, 3 objectives are up for grabs. Still has heavy firepower. Still a Catan shard alive. And now the Cryptek will take over command of the other half of the Necron army. We'll go on to turn 3 now for the Necrons. I think it's safe to say at this stage that the Thousand Suns are ahead as far as casualties are concerned, but it all depends on the deck, what cards are drawn, what objectives are able to be fulfilled. We're going to turn 3 now for the Necrons. Alright, so movement done for the Necrons here on their turn 3. So Necron Warriors moving out, Cryptek with them. Doomsday Arcs remains stationary. It does have a view. It can partly see the Mauler Fiend here, so Rob will be able to shoot at that, no problem. Then the Catan Shards jumped up here, securing objective number 5. And has dished out 2 mortal wounds on the Zangles at the back, 3 mortal wounds on the ones crossing the wall, and also a mortal wound on the Rubic Marines on the other side of the wall. And that power is called, Sky of Falling Stars here, pick 3 units. And then Rob was able to cause mortal wounds on those 3. And that's it. Yes, tried to reanimate some of the death marks, but failed. Didn't get any 5+s, so the models just remained where it is. Yeah, Rob's he forgot to move them, so he's popped them inside here to gain cover. So that's movement done. Cards, actually, we need to cover that Rob drew from the deck here. It's Endless Legions. He's keeping a track of the number of models that he's been reanimating. Secure objective number 5. That explains the movement there from the Catan Shard. Overwhelming firepower to destroy something with shooting. And secure objective number 1, which is around here somewhere. Yes, it's just here. So secure objective number 1. Rob's declared 1 as his tactical gambit here this turn. Movement's done. We'll go on to shooting phase next. So we're on shooting phase here. We've almost finished apart from 1 dice roll. With a reroll possibly. You'll see in just a moment what's happened. So Necron Warriors out of range here. We've kept the Zangles out of range. The ones that were in range of the Terminators fired. They caused 5 wounds. We passed those on 2+ with the help of all his dust. Then the Doomsday Arc fired and managed to put D6 damage here on the Mauler Fiend, but Rob rolled a 2. That was all the damage that came through. So, the death mark. The lone death mark here with his rifle, tracking Araman, got his hit. Rob's just rolled a 6 to wound, so mortal wound will come through. I need to pass a 3+ armor save, otherwise Araman will die. Breathe. Okay, we can breathe again. That's right. He lives, but he's only got 1 wound left. Good shooting here for the death mark. That was a nice mortal wound picked up there. That marks the end of the shooting phase. We're just looking to see if there's any assaults. No. Okay, so any cards to trade in? Rob declared 1, so he will receive his bonus. And that is secure objective number 5. Yes, alright, so 2 points picked up this turn. He is ahead at the moment, we reckon, in the game, with points being scored. So still the Thousand Suns need to catch up here with the good scoreline the Necrons already have. We'll go on to their turn 3 next. Alright, so movement here for the Thousand Suns on their 3rd turn. Cards that we've drawn: Domination, that's next to impossible at the moment. That's all 6 objectives. Advance, get outside the deployment zone, can't do that yet. Defend objective number 2, which is this one. So it looks like there's no one there, but within 3 inches is the Rubic Marines on this side of the wall. So they are holding that one at the moment. We need to hold it for 2 turns. And then defend objective number 1 here, which is this one. The Zangors hold that. Now, that's going to take 2 turns to do it, so Gambit's not going to work. We declared 2, so Rob is going to get 2 victory points there because we failed. It has to be completed on a turn. It's going to take us 2 turns to complete those defend objectives. But if we hold them 2, we'll get 4, so it's sort of a trade-off that we're quite happy to make. Movement done here with the Sorcerers. Beaker's gone up, Chicken Wing's gone down. Then here the Zangles are stretched out to hold on to objective number 1. Araman has advanced, so too has Disco Inferno. They're right here. Araman is just within range 24 of the Cryptek. Might be able to let off some powers against him. Terminators have gone 5. 5. Maul of Fiends has gone 8 because of his damage, and he's restored a wound back up to 6. That's movement done. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next. It's worked pretty well here for the Thousand Suns. We'll see what they can do on their third turn. Psychic Phase coming up. Okay, Psychic Phase complete here. Mortal Wounds were put on the Catan Shard. He's taken 3. Then we perilled here. 2 wounds now on Beaker. Then low-grade smite coming from the Aspiring Sorcerer. Took out the death marks. He's gone. And then across here, Araman used his powers as Inch's Firestorm and Infernal Gaze here against the Cryptek. 2 mortal wounds, but he still remains alive. Smite coming through from him. Smite coming through from Disco Inferno as well. Caused more mortal wounds, with 5 being taken now on those Necron Warriors. We used Warp Time to shuffle these forwards a little bit more, but just being cautious of the Doomsday Arc, just so that Rob will need to move it if he wants to try and shoot at a juicier target. And Doom Bolts we tried to manifest there and failed to both of those. So that's Psychic Phase complete. Not too bad here from the Thousand Suns, still grinding away the wounds from the Necrons, but Necron Warriors being brought down isn't too dangerous for Rob. He can reanimate those. There's 10 we need to slay if we try and go for the wipeout of that unit. I don't think we have the firepower to do it. We're going to Shooting Phase next. We'll see what damage the Thousand Suns can do. Alright, so Shooting Phase finished. There's no targets for us here. The death mark's gone, so nothing for the Rubik Marines to do. Just the Terminators firing pretty good from them, actually. A couple of them could see through the burning tank, and this squad fired through. Rob's now taken 10 casualties on that squad. He's got no command rerolls left, and so morale may well prove an issue for that squad. So we'll go on to turn 4 now for the Necrons. They need to keep this unit intact here. We don't want to wipe out. We'll let Rob roll up here to see what he gets. Oh, I don't think that's particularly good here. I think there's trouble. Yeah, 5 and 10. 10 casualties plus 5. Yep. No, the squad destroyed. That's quite a blow there to lose that unit. So not a good end to the turn there for the Necrons. We'll go on to Rob's turn next. Turn 4 coming up. We'll see what cards he can draw. He's got 2 cards he can draw. He's received 2 bonus points because we failed with our Gambit, and we've got to sit on top of these 2 objectives here and defend them for Rob's turn, and then we can trade them in and pick up 2 points. So looking pretty good here. That result's pretty crucial here, actually, for the Thousand Suns. We'll now go on to turn 4 for the Necrons. Alright, so movement complete here for the Necrons on turn 4. The Cryptek's healed a wound, and then has fallen back here to the safety of the second large Necron Warrior unit. Then the Catan Shard has jumped across to here. That's to use his power, which he, since after moving, has used. 3 mortal wounds caused against the Zangors, and a mortal wound caused here against the Terminators. Then, it's the third attempt failed, did it? Or?
Yes.
Against them?
Yeah. Right,
okay, that's fine. And then, oh yes, not forgetting, the Doomsday Arc has landed up here. It has the fly keyword, so it can land on different levels of a building. So that's movement complete. Now we'll go on to Shooting Phase next. Both armies were facing off against each other in this direction. The game's flipped around. It's now hammer and anvil style here. The Thousand Suns in complete control of this sector, and the Necrons virtually in control of this area here on the other side. We'll go on to Shooting Phase, see what damage Rob can do. Alright, so shooting's taken place here. Good firepower here for the Necron Warriors. 13 of them were in range. They let off a volley and brought all the Zangors down apart from 1, so 6 casualties taken. Rob had the overwhelming firepower, so he's trying to get a wipeout here in the Shooting Phase. Hasn't managed to do that. Terminators took some hits. That was shooting coming through from the Doomsday Arc. We've now lost in total 3 of them, and the one with the Hellfire Missile Rack has taken a wound. So that is Shooting Phase complete. There's no charges, no Overwatch at all, so that'll mark the end of turn 4 here for the Necrons. We're going to the 4th turn next for the Thousand Suns. They've taken more damage here, but we're still, I think, ahead here, but not as well. Any points to trade in?
No.
Not at this point, and Rob's going to dump hold the line. Okay, so we'll be able to draw a card next turn. Okay, turn finished. We'll go on to turn 4 now for the Thousand Suns. Right, so Thousand Suns have moved. We've made an advanced move here with the Rubik Marines. They'll not be able to shoot. They've gone up on top of the wall, paying 6 inches, roll of 5. So they've been able to make progress in this direction. They've remained stationary with the Exalted Sorcerer. The lone Zangor's remained where he is, just to keep him within 3 inches of objective number 2. Cards that we've drawn: Scour the Skies, a unit that can fly. That's possible. The Doomsday Ark, if we can destroy that. Ritual Slaughter, need to kill 9 enemy models in the turn. We'll get a victory point for that. Domination's still available, but I'm not going to be able to achieve that in advance if we get out of our deployment zone. That's a possible one here if we continue moving in that direction later turns. Zangors have moved and stretched themselves onto both objectives. We can't hold both, but we're just ready to hold either of those. Terminators have moved round 5. The damaged unit of Terminators has moved round 5. The Maul of Fiends restored a wound and has advanced 13, and then Ahriman and the Exalted Sorcerer on the disc have jumped up on top of the wall. So starting to cross the wall and through the breach now with the Thousand Suns as they pursue this Necron force. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next for the Thousand Suns on turn 4. Alright, so Psychic Phase done. It's been pretty nasty actually here from the Thousand Suns. The Catan was dealt with, just that's the nastiness of mortal wounds. There's nothing much you can do to stop them from coming through, and if they're aimed at the right targets, it can cause a lot of trouble. So Catan Shard's gone. No one within 3 inches for any kind of explosion to take place. Then Temporal Manipulation restored a wound onto the Maul of Fiends. He's back up to 9. Ahriman perilled here, but we command re-rolled the dice because he's only on 1 wound left, so we kept him alive just about. His powers all then went off, and along with other smites coming through, the Doomsday Ark has been reduced to 6 wounds now from 14, so a lot of damage coming through in the Psychic Phase from the Thousand Suns Psychers. That's it. Psychic Phase complete. We'll go on to Shooting Phase next, see what we can see, and resolve some firepower. Okay, Shooting Phase complete. Couldn't fire the Rubik Marines here, but Terminators fired through and put a few more wounds onto the Ghost, or onto the Doomsday Ark. It's on 4 wounds remaining now, so it's in a bad way, taking a lot of hits from the Thousand Suns. So that's the end of the turn. We'll see if we can hand in any cards here. Ritual Slaughter, no, didn't kill enough models. Scour the Skies, yes, because we killed yes, the Catan Shard there. So that one gets us, trying to mark the points here, 1 and then a bonus 1 because we did declare 1 card to be achieved this turn. So turn 4 finished here for the Thousand Suns. They're looking stronger now. Necron casualties have mounted up, and it's a fighting retreat going on here at the moment. But we'll go now on to turn 5 for the Necrons as they desperately try to cling on here in this game. Alright, so movement's done. Doomsday Ark's going to remain where he is. Necron Warriors clustering together here. They're going to let off a volley here into the Maul of Fiends to try and strip away as many wounds as possible. And then the Cryptek just falling back behind the objective. That's it. 3 units left here for the Necrons. We'll go straight on to their Shooting Phase next. So Rob's just working out what he needs here for his firepower. It's been an enjoyable game for sure. It's more of a fluid army here for the Necrons, just with the Catans and their abilities. So that's a different army compared to what I'm used to here for my own Necron list. But it's a nice combination. Thousand Suns, the Forces of Chaos against Necrons, 2 very cold-hearted and bloodthirsty armies clashing here. No mercy at all been shown by either side in this game. So quite a good scenario here has developed as well, this fight here over this breach in the wall. But we'll let Rob resolve his firepower here as the Necrons make a stand. So he's 28 shots coming through here. He's just taking away the misses. See if he can bring the Maul of Fiend down. He's got 9 wounds left. He'll need 5s and 6s to wound, which is a good roll here, a really good roll. I think he'll probably try and finish it off with the Doomsday Ark if he can. But there's loads here. 8 saves to make. of -1, so we get a 4-up save. Will not be destroyed, but we will take horrific damage. 7 wounds caused down to 2. Brilliant volley here from the Necron Warriors. It all hangs on the Doomsday Arc. It does have the rapid firing Ghoul's Flare arrays and the main gun. Rob may well still choose to fire everything. We'll see what he decides to do. Yeah, because of the damage that's come through against the Mauler Fiend, Rob's going to fire the Ghoul's Flare arrays, 20 shots into the Mauler Fiend. The rate of damage that came through from the 28 shots down here, it seems like Rob should be able to do that. And then here, the main gun then, is going to fire into the unit of 2 Terminators to try and bring them down. So, still battling on. It's not going to give up. 4s. Why 4? That is the ballistic skill, is it?
No, because he's on a bracket for damage.
Ah, yes, the damage bracket. Okay,
that's good.
That's affected the. Oh, well done, a good recovery there. 4. So here we go, 1 at a time for cinematic. Oh, great. 4+. There's 1. There's nope, and I've got no rerolls left, so we are dead. You've destroyed the Mauler Fiend here, and it detonates. So we'll figure out what's going on. Mauler Fiend's been destroyed. Perhaps like a bomb, detonate at the bottom of the building, and then bring the whole the whole thing crashing down. It's the main gun. Yeah, Mauler Fiend's destroyed. 2 mortal wounds caused here, so down to 3, and then across here as well, a mortal wound caused on the Necron Warriors. Mauler Fiend destroyed. Rob's just rolled to shoot here. Only got 1 shot with the main gun against Terminators. Rolled a 3 and missed. 2 mortal wounds came in there against the Doomsday Arcs. It's down to 3 now, so it's in a double bracket for damage. And 1 mortal wound there on the Necron Warriors. It's not going to affect them for morale. So I think that's the end of the turn. Any more cards to trade in?
Yeah, overwhelming firepower.
Oh yes, destroyed the Mauler Fiend. Yes.
Secure objective 6.
Yes, another one. And 1 point because you fulfilled Gambit. That's 3 points picked up here. Whatever happens, it's going to be a respectable score for both sides. We'll now go on to turn 5. This could be the final turn of the game. Turn 5 coming up next for the Thousand Suns. Alright, so movement done. We have drawn a fresh card. It's defend objective number 4, so that's the one we're moving on to, so it's worked out well. The Rubric Marines are continuing to move across the upper level here. A run move made with Beaker. He's gone onto the edge of the breach in the wall. We've cleared out the deployment zone here entirely, so we'll pick up a point for advance tactical objective. Moved up here, a run move, 11 inches in total with this unit, or the lone Zangor. Twist Bray. Then here, continuing to hold with these. Terminators moving through the gap now with Araman just behind. To their left is Disco Inferno, and then on the right hand side is Chicken Wing moving through, making an advance move as well. We're going to use the might of Smite here, I think, to try and clear the Necrons away and push on, ultimately. What looks like a Thousand Suns victory. We're going to Psychic Phase next. Okay, so Psychic Phase complete here for the Thousand Suns, and it's been a deadly display. Loads of mortal wounds coming through, just 1 Necron warrior left, and the Doomsday Arc was destroyed. Disco Inferno Smite, the first to go off, causing 3 mortal wounds, and that vehicle was destroyed. So Necron resistance has crumbled now. 1 warrior left. He'll auto pop for morale, and it'll just be the Crypt Tech left, so he can slink back, and the Necrons can rebuild another force for another time. But the game's ended now. Rob's going to concede at this point. Points to hand in then. That has to carry on for another turn, so we're not going to defend objective 4. Ritual Slaughter, though, we killed more than 9 enemy models, and we advanced out of our deployment zone. So 2 points picked up, +1 for the Gambit we declared as 1, so we'll add that to the total. Okay, so final score here. Closer than we thought it would be. Necrons have scored 15 in total. Rob did get some great results there with victory points. That's all the cards and bonuses that he's picked up there. Slay the Warlord was achieved as well for destroying the Demon Prince, so 15 points in total. Necrons have picked up 21 in total, including Slay the Warlord and Linebreaker and First Blood as well, and that's all of the points for objectives. So it's been a high scoring game, this one here, 21 points to 15. it was evens, could have gone either way in the early turns of the game, and then I think the breaking point was when the bubble burst over here, the Thousand Suns piling in against the Necron elite forces and deleting them. That cleared this sector, and then the Thousand Suns were able to gather their strength together and focus on what was left of the Necrons on this side. But there was breaking point here, but it could have gone easily the other way. Rob could have dished out a lot of damage there against the Thousand Suns and swung the game round. But this time around, the Thousand Suns have prevailed. So, great game. It's been an enjoyable game, this one. Two different styles of play. Necrons play differently to how I'm used to, and then the Thousand Suns, a different style from them. The emphasis isn't on firepower or even close combat. It's the psychic phase, and really it has been the psychic phase that has helped the Thousand Suns on to victory. They've taken on the Necrons here and prevailed. Thanks to Rob for coming down. Great to see him return, and great to see his Necrons on the channel as well. Keep a look out for more Challenger Scorpion games in the future. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Alright, so units of the game for both sides. Rob's going to give it to the Overlord with his cinematic war scythe into the belly of the beast that we saw take place. That truly was epic. That entropic strike that brought down the Warlord there. So just going to give it to him. It's difficult to choose one here for the Thousand Suns. It's the Psychers in general, just the oppression that comes through from Smite, unstoppable power coming through from them, really reaped a heavy toll on the Necrons. To pick one, I give it to Ahriman. He dishes out a lot of mortal wounds, moves around quickly around the board, nicely protected for being a character as well. So give it to Ahriman, but really in general it's the Psychers for the Thousand Suns that achieve units of the game for them. That's units of the game for both armies.